So if you want to do some wilderness riding or trail riding over long periods of time, this Eleanor Mountain Trail saddle is really one of the top quality saddles that Colorado Saddlery makes. This saddle is designed to ride in the mountains and in the wilderness. The quality of the leather is, I'd say, the best, some of the best on the market. What I like about this as a horse trainer is a couple things. First of all, the memory foam in the seat. It allows that seat to stay in a nice shape, but it doesn't get soggy, it doesn't get out of shape. And that's really important when you're in the saddle over a long period of time. The other thing I like about it is you'll notice the cantle, even though we call this a Cheyenne roll cantle, it tends to sweep up slightly, and it helps you, it supports your back. It really supports your back. It allows you to sit in the saddle. And a lot of saddles that say they're mountain saddles don't do that, and you end up kind of sitting on top of the cantle instead of sitting in the seat of the horse. So the one thing I like about all of Colorado Saddlery saddles is that the way they have the placement of their stirrup leathers. So many saddles tend to put the stirrup leathers a little farther forward, so your leg is farther forward. And what happens is you can't have it. You lose your nice upper body balance. You can't have that body balance. And you want to be balanced the same way in the saddle as if you were riding bareback. And you want your leg to be in the same position in the saddle as if you were riding bareback. And that's what I like about this saddle, is that it allows you to do that. Plus, you notice the stirrups are a free-moving stirrup. They're not a stationary stirrup. And it's so nice to allow that stirrup to move back and forth, because that's what allows you to find your balance. That's what allows you to move with the horse. So Matt, why don't you tell us a little bit about this mountain saddle?
You know, we designed this saddle specifically for mountain trail riders and outfitters, people that are going to be in this saddle for long periods of time in steep country or on trails. Some of the features are, in addition to the things that you mentioned, are little things you might not even notice. For example, this saddle has 2 different D-rings for your breast collar, and it allows you, for different size and different shape horses, to select where you decide to rig your breast collar. One of the other features, 60 years ago, Colorado Saddlery invented this 3-way rigging. We call it the perfect rig. What it allows you to do is select actually 3 different locations. You can either be rigged here in the back, or a combination like we have this now, where you're halfway between. And it just gives you a lot of options for riding different horses. Some of the other features are it's completely top grain leather. We selected that on this particular saddle so that it sheds rain. Let's face it, we get rained on a lot when we're mountain trail riding, and this top grain leather can be waterproofed and shed water a lot better than, for example, a rough out saddle. You'd already mentioned the memory foam seat. Foam padded seats is a real delicate topic, in that if you're going to try to put a padded seat in a saddle, you have to do it right, because you tend to increase heat and create a real more uncomfortable seat than what you would anticipate. And so we feel like we've got a really quality seat in this saddle. Some of the other things, you know, we've intentionally cut this out so that you can get a lot of twist in your stirrup. You might notice here that there's actually a guard leather built into this, and so this is a heavy duty, lifelong, you know, that's the type of saddle that can be ridden for 50 or 60 years and last a long time. The last thing I'll point out is this. This is just an extra housing that we put on the back with 3 Ds in it. It does allow you to use a crouper if you decide that you have a horse that you'd like to ride a crouper with. It also gives you the option of having 3 more tie-down locations. But most importantly, this housing is up off of your horse's back. So many of these saddles that use a crouper plate have it sewn into this housing, and it ends up getting into your horse's hips. We've elevated it so that never happens, and those are just a few of the features that we think you might like. This is a fully rawhide wrap tree made by Hadlock and Fox. Quality tree, fits a horse well. We actually manufacture this saddle in a variety of different tree widths based on the type of horse that you have.